there's a team right now in the West that I think has had an incredible season. I'm a little nervous about them. It's the Houston Rockets. Now, they've been on a tear as of late. They're 47-26. They've won 10 out of their last 11 ball games. And this is a talented roster. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was insanely high on this team. This is actually one of my hot takes at the beginning of the NBA season, that I thought Houston would be a playoff team after struggling the last few years, but they finally broke through with Ime Udoka, just a tremendous head coach, took the Boston Celtics to the NBA Finals, and he's really done great things with this Rockets squad. And we see Jalen Green, when he plays at his best level, he is an unbelievable offensive talent. I believe he's averaging 26 points per game over the last 8 ball games. He's been a tremendous player. You have Şengün, of course. Everyone calls him the mini Jokic. And then you look at Fred VanVleet, Amin Thompson, Dylan Brooks. You look at the different pieces on this team. Now, you may be asking yourself, why am I pointing out the different pieces on this team? Could we see potential Kevin Durant trade to the Houston Rockets? I'm looking at all of these pieces. I'm hearing inklings around the Phoenix area. As a credentialed media member of the Phoenix Suns, I hear things. I see different things down there, and I'm hearing different potential packages that may be put together for Kevin Durant. And it's not a surprise that the Phoenix Suns are going to have to trade him. They've been talking about this now for months. They've put themselves in this purgatory with Bradley Beal where they can't get out of it. And their only move to try and salvage anything, if they want to be a competitive team in the next few years, to try and trade away Kevin Durant, get some picks, get some capital, and then try and trade away Bradley Beal and build around Devin Booker. They've been vocal about that. Now it's, do the Houston Rockets step up and go get KD? A loaded team with a potential to be a championship team if you had Kevin Durant. Do the Dallas Mavericks go get him if they get healthy with Kyrie AD in the squad? Does he potentially go back to Oklahoma City? Does he team up with Anthony Edwards in Minnesota? Those are all legitimate questions. Does he go back up to the Bay with Steph? Does he go play with LeBron? I mean, there's a lot of questions about where Kevin Durant is going to go next year. And we all know that he is a top 10 player in the NBA still. I mean, he's playing at an unbelievable level. Look at his last 3 games. It's like 30 points, 42, 38. The dude's 36 years old, and he's still balling. Everyone deservedly so, but everybody talks about LeBron's longevity. Let's talk about Kevin Durant's longevity. He's been unbelievable. But I want to talk about this Houston Rockets team here, because I think they're only one piece away from realistically being the best team in the West with Ime Udoka, a guy that Kevin Durant is very fond of. Could a package of Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, and a few first-round draft picks get the Phoenix Suns to make that deal? I think it potentially could. But when you're looking at this team for the rest of this year as the 2 seed, I'm not taking them as a legitimate threat, to be quite honest with you, in terms of winning a championship this year, in terms of beating the Oklahoma City Thunder, in terms of beating the Denver Nuggets or the Los Angeles Lakers. I would take all 3 of those teams ahead of Houston. As a matter of fact, I would put the Minnesota Timberwolves over the Houston Rockets right now. I think that's the ideal matchup for them. If I'm Houston, I want to pray that I'm playing the Los Angeles Clippers in the first round. That's a winnable series. That's a winnable series against the Los Angeles Clippers. You're not beating Golden State. You're not beating Minnesota. But you're close. You're really close. And you're building every single year. Like the 2 seed, I don't want to turn this into a negative piece about them because they've had a heck of a year. This is a young basketball team that's continuing to build. They were like the 12 seed 2 years ago. Now they're the 2 seed, led by Jalen Green. You put Kevin Durant on that team, whew, they can be dangerous. I'm telling you right now, they can be really dangerous. But this West, man, it's fun. It is the wild, wild West for a reason. And Houston, I have my antenna raised on them because I don't know if they can seriously beat a Golden State squad with the lack of postseason experience they had. Oklahoma City last year, they were the 1 seed, but they didn't have the postseason experience. They lost in 6 games to the Mavericks. I fear that's the same thing with Houston right now. If they go up against Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, Defensive Player of the Year, and Draymond Green, I don't think they win that series. If they go up against Minnesota, even though Minnesota's still a younger team, they had some of those calluses from last year when they lost in the Western Conference Finals. I think Anthony Edwards would be the best player on the floor there as well, too. The Clippers, that's the team you want to see. That's the draw you want to get if you're the 2 seed. If not, lose some games. Try and play Memphis. I think they can beat Memphis. I don't think they could beat the Lakers. I don't think they could beat the Nuggets. And I know they can't beat OKC. But Houston is going to be a really, really interesting team to watch out for over this next 2 months of the season going on and this summer as well. How aggressive do they get if Kevin Durant ultimately does get put on that trade block, which I am very confident he will? How aggressive do they get to try and go get Kevin Durant?